1944 proves to be the pivotal year for the Allies. Major battles continue to take place on both fronts as victory is beginning to seem possible. We could feel that way because we didn't have television back then. The most gigantic invasion ever takes place on June 6, 1944, on the shores of Normandy. And real estate is recovered almost inch by inch. All the way to Berlin, the Japanese fleet is defeated in the Battle of the Philippine Seas. August 25th, Paris is liberated, and Germany begins to make its last stand with the beginning of the Battle of the Bulge, December 18, 1944. January 16, Hitler's army is defeated at the Battle of the Bulge. And I wonder now, you know, the commander of the German army sent a message to General McAuliffe, and he indeed demanded that he surrender. Who can tell me the one word that General McAuliffe responded with? Nuts. Very good, very good. The German army now has begun to use young boys in their army. In the combined efforts of the Russians in the east, Montgomery in the northwest, and Patton from the south are converging on the main German army in Berlin. We got John O. and the piano story.
Yeah, we tried
this
to
is your story?
give, we did this once before at the Atlanta Library. We had 4 veterans there. We gave them each one story to tell. And John has a very interesting story that I think you'll find amusing. John?
Okay.
Thanks, Dan. I'll try to hold it down to
20 minutes.
reasonable time. The story I'm telling is not a combatant story, but we combatants, we people who fought and flew the planes and shot the guns and so forth, had to have something in our spare time in order to stay normal. And what we did in our particular squadron was to make use of the musicians that we had in our bomber. We actually had 6 musicians in the bombing group. These were gunners, navigators, bombardiers, and so forth. And when we fly to the target, we took our instruments along, and we played until the German aircraft would intercept us, and then we put them down really quick, and then fought our way back home, pulled out our instruments again, and then played all the way back. We have records of that, too. I didn't have time to get some of that here. But that idea of playing was wonderful, except we couldn't haul a piano around. We didn't have a piano like this one. We didn't have you either.
Too bad, Woody.
The idea came, well, we're stationed in Italy. So Italy is oh, solo mio, you know, this is a musical country.
Careful, don't slander the Italians.
Yeah, watch it, John.
And plenty of good musicians, singers around. So we said, let's see if we can go over to Naples and obtain a piano over there through bartering with some of the people. Anybody been in Naples? Oh,
Yeah, Sarah.
Well, at that time, Naples was combat. Trying to find the phrase. Stored up. All the people that lived there were glued into these apartments down the streets, where the wash would hang between the 2 streets, and nothing would be around but work. And Naples was residing and trying to keep some sort of civility while the boys were there fighting in the upper part of the hill. So here I go. I guess this is the short one, Dan.
You should have heard the long one.
A long story short, we bartered with one of the families there to see if they let their family piano go for a good cause. And they agreed to it for a few bucks, which we took, tried to get a hold of a pound. And the Navy helped us out by loaning us a truck and a couple of men to help move the piano if we found it. We bartered and we got this piano. It was a beautiful old Italian grand piano. Look at this one. This is sort of a baby grand, right? Well, this was the concert grand that we got, believe it or not. And if you all know what a B-24 Bombay looked like, it could barely hold a piano. So that's how huge this piano was. How do we get it down? From the 4th floor of this tenement where they lived, lock and tackle from the Navy, outside through the windows, down through the street, into the Navy truck, out to the airport, which was all shot at. Our bomber was sitting there. The general said, yeah, for the cause, you can fly over there and pick up the piano and bring it back. On the other side of it, they were moving on the Asiatic side. We got there, got the piano out, got the piano underneath the bomb bay, hauled it up on the block and tackle there, and shackled it to the shackles which held the bombs. This is getting funny. If you go on. Can I keep going? We're almost done. It's got another 10 minutes.
I have a doctor's appointment in a half hour.
Anyhow, to make the story interesting, at that time, Naples was guarded by these balloons all around the town. These were security balloons with cables. So if the Germans tried to fly through them with their fighter aircraft, they, of course, would shear their wings off. It was very difficult. Well, then you might wonder how we got back over on the other side when we took off from the airport in Naples. We were not aware that those balloons were there until it was time to take off. So we got airborne and we wiggled our way through it, and I don't know to this day how we didn't hit it. Flew back across 30 minutes to the other side of the country. There were 5,000 of our troops from our bomb group waiting for this plane to come in with this piano. Because they promised this for a long time. So as we circled, we made a safe approach, taxied up to the parking area. All these men came out of their trucks and places to live, gathered around, waiting for it to be removed. So our crew, which knew the inside of the plane, began to unshackle the piano. As they proceeded to unshackle the piano, we heard something rip. And something began to give away. And before we could catch it, the whole, I was going to use the word DAM, piano fell down on the ramp. Bang, just like an atomic bomb. Scattered into, I'd say, 10,000 pieces. Did you know what's inside of this piano?
No.
Strings, hammers. If you'd opened it up, it'd fill up the whole room. And it was silent on the strip when that happened. As the dust cleared away, we all shook our hands. With all that work and waiting for months for this piano, we had to give up. But a lonely sergeant over there who was watching us out of the corner come over real quick and said, Captain, that's what I was at that time. I thought I'd be a private when it was all over. Said, don't worry, Captain. We can fix that piano up here. We've got all the tools necessary. So to complete the story, that's what we did. We picked up all of this junk that you can see, took it into a warehouse, which we had a place about this big, and we assembled that piano for months to come of great singing and playing. But you know, it never sounded like it.
Thank you, John.
That's a great.
But it didn't make a difference. It didn't make any difference. We made the nicest music come out of that time, and it bucked up the morale of our troops, and we went in there and beat the pants off Hitler when he took it.
There you go, John.
There you go.